Hi guys, welcome to City Skylines. This video is going to be a pretty brief tutorial on how to start up a city. Maybe you just got the game, you don't know what to do, you're thinking about getting the game. This video is just going to go over how you would want to start your city and how you would set up your electrical grid, how you would set up your water and sewer system, and then we'll end on how to expand the city without killing it financially. Alright, so let's get started. The map here that we have is pretty decent. This was the first map I ever played on. It's pretty fun. There's a lot of possibilities here, a lot of water around us. Yeah, so this here is the interstate that the rest of the world travels on. And this here is how they get access to your city. So right at the start, what we're going to do is we're going to build a road. You got your road panel here. We're going to build a roundabout right here. Roundabouts handle traffic a lot more effectively than anything else by far in this game. But you can see we only have a 2-lane road here. What we want is that we want a one-way. So if you place down that, and then you can delete it real fast to get you a refund for it. It unlocks the 2-lane one-way road, which is what we're going to use. So if you come down here at the bottom left, you see right here, that allows you to build straight roads. The one next to it is curved roads. We're going to do the curve, and you just click once, get your starting point. Then we're going to come out 1 unit this way, and then come down this way. And we'll go 1 unit out, click, come down, click, and we'll just carry that on all the way around. Boom, so we have a nice circle, good roundabout, and then we'll add an exit to leave, and an entrance to come in. Awesome. Roundabouts handle traffic so much better than anything else in this game, so that's going to be really good for us, especially later on. After that, we can go to the second panel. Allows us to have 4-lane roads. I like to use these for main roads into certain areas of a town just because they help all of the traffic a lot better. So we'll go out here. This will be kind of our residential and commercial area. And then we'll take one out this way as well, and it will be our industrial area that we'll have. I like to keep them separate mostly because the industrial area creates a lot of pollution. And that can make your citizens really sick, so it's best to keep that away from the neighborhoods. Awesome. Okay, and I like to go with this simple grid pattern. It helps really condense your city, give you very dense populated areas, especially early on. It costs money to cover more area, so if we have everything pretty close together, it's going to help us out a bunch. And we'll have some cross streets here. And we'll make one long one over here. Okay, so I mean, you don't want to go too big too fast. Mine's probably a little bigger than you initially need it, but that's okay. Yeah, you only have a certain amount of money to start the game with. We started out with probably 60 or 70 grand. We're down to 36 already, so I think that's good for the road. After you get the road layout, you definitely want to set up your water and sewer systems and your electrical grid before you start zoning and having people move to the city. So we'll start with electrical. Coal power plant is always a good first option. Gives enough power to where you don't really have to worry about anything else for the rest of this whole setup phase. You might have to drop another one in later on, but for now it works. So we have that over there. This blue radius is its reach, area of effect, if you will. It will power anything within that blue circle, so we want that blue circle to reach all the way over here. Best way to do that is with power lines. So when we have homes over here being built, they have their own blue radius, which should encompass this electric line, allowing that power plant to power this whole area. Okay, and then as the industrial zone over here gets bigger, it will carry the power with it. Okay, so we want, I mean, that's basically it for power. You just have to have it from two sides. If we run into something later, we can always change it. On to water. Water is a necessity. You have to have water if you want people to move in. Otherwise, they just get angry, they won't move in, and it just costs you a lot of headache. First thing we have to do is lay down water pipe, and then we have either a water tower or a water pumping station for water to come into the system. And then for our sewage, we have a water drain pipe. Water will leave out of this pipe. So you have to have a water drain pipe. You have to. What I like to do is I just put it on the river nearest to where it doesn't affect all of this. Because if I put it over here, all of the sewage is going to come out and it's going to float along this river all the way down and around and just cause a lot of pollution. So I like to put mine there. Starting off early, I'm kind of worried about the money, so I'm going to stick with water towers. They're not as providing as a water pump station, but they get the job done for the beginning of the game. So we'll lay down our pipe first. Typically you want to just follow your roads with it. Make sure you have enough coverage over everything. Okay, those are all connected. And we also have to connect our sewage drain as well. Okay, come out here, place that, and then we won't worry about this line for now. But if we did want to place something, zone that for residential, we would have to place something over there. Okay, so this drain pipe is going to need power. So we're going to run a power line up here to the neighborhood. That way it'll just keep flowing from there. The power will come from the plant through this line into the neighborhood and then into this line down here. So that'll work nicely. Alright, so we have our power and we have our water and sewer system set up. Now we want to do zoning. Zoning is pretty important. There's 6 different areas of zoning. You have your low density residential, high density residential, low density commercial, high density commercial, your industrial zoning, and your office zoning. This last one here is to D-zone. So to D-zone, I would place residential, and if I didn't mean to do that or I want to change it, I just go to D-zone and then click on it and it takes it away. Pretty simple. So over here we're going to have a bunch of residential zoning. Just kind of fill it in for now. Okay, so I don't really want this big part of the L here. So I'm going to take it out with the D zone, but if you notice when I go over it, it wants to take the whole thing out. So down here at the left, we can click the marquee option, and it lets me change individual cells here. So we're going to do it like that. The other options is a brush, so you could just like brush it. This one's a small brush. I don't really ever use those. I don't see the point. But always an option. Okay, so we have our residential. We really do want some commercial in here, so I'm going to take this one out and put commercial in that block. That way it's available. And then we're going to put our industrial over here. That way jobs will be created. Awesome. So I mean, we have a basic layout of how the city's going to be. Industrial vehicles are going to come in the roundabout, exit right away, go over here. Residential and commercial is going to come over here. Just really good traffic flow is very important very early on in the game. So as much as you can do to account for later game, you're saving yourself so much time and money. Alright, so from here, the next step is to start. So we're going to start this up and let people start moving in. And as people move in, our population counter will go up. And once we get a high enough population, we will reach our first milestone. Milestones is this button right down here. So once we hit 320 population, we hit our first milestone. After we hit the milestone, we get access to loans, taxes, garbage, healthcare, and education systems, and a clinic, a landfill site, an elementary school, all that good stuff. And then a bunch of milestones throughout the whole beginning of the game, all the way up until you hit 60,000 people. So it's really important to hit those. They help you out in almost every way possible. Oh, I forgot something. Yep, I forgot a well, or a water tower. So we're gonna have to wait until we hit this 320 people, get some money, and then I can put that water tower in there. As you can see, we're really close. Fantastic, we hit it. Next milestone is 650. I'm gonna pause it real fast so you can see we got about 20 grand for hitting that milestone. So if you come over here to our economy page, here is where all of your financials for your city are. At the bottom you have your income and your expenses. So for residential taxes, you can see we're taking in 189 a week. For commercial, it's 119 a week, and then for industrial, it's only 20 a week right now. And our expenses is 307 for roads, 595 for power, 360 for water and sewage. And then there's a bunch of little tabs here that give you more information on each of those. And then if you come up to the top here on our first tab, taxes, in this area is where we can tax the different zones. So I could tax 11 for residential and I could tax 23 for commercial if I really wanted to. But I typically find that having them all set at 11 early game really helps you out because it helps you earn more money to expand, and then it's not high enough to deter people from moving in, because if you have it up around like 15, not as many people are going to move into your city because that's crazy high. So then we go over to our loans tab. There are 3 loans you can get in this game. There's the Silver Sunset Bank for 20,000. You get that just for hitting your first milestone. Global Credit Inc. That becomes available after hitting this next one of 650 people. And then the Pyramid Capital, after we hit a population of 15,000, then we can access that loan. Loans are pretty good if you're really in a tight spot for cash. They're fantastic. They help you out 100% of the time. But you do have to pay it back on a weekly cost. Okay, so we have the money from hitting the milestone, so let's go ahead and we're actually just gonna, let's just drop a water pump in here. Why not? And we might not want it there, actually. We're gonna get a bunch of ground pollution from this over here, so maybe we should put it... Yeah, we'll just go with water tower. Water tower is super simple. Okay, we'll put 2 in. So those will pump water to the city. And they do need power, so we'll have to see. Yes, they are connected to the grid by these power lines. Awesome. Okay. Now, since we've hit that first milestone, we also unlocked garbage. So we can have a landfill site. Garbage is super important to handle in your town. We always put garbage with the industrial because it creates a lot of pollution that we don't want around our citizens, otherwise it'll get them sick. And then we also get access to a medical clinic. And I am going to take this loan and get that medical clinic because it is pretty important. And then I'll place it right here in town. Awesome. So we'll get it started up again and let people flow in. You can see now there's water pumping through all the pipes. People are starting to move in. Yeah, the roundabout, they handle traffic so nicely. It's ridiculous. It's first few times I played this game, I kept doing like just a square intersection here, and it destroyed me on my traffic flow. Just backed up. I had vehicles backed up all the way out here trying to get in, and it was nuts. Awesome. So we got people coming in. Our weekly income is negative 1,200 still, but as we get more people in here, that will go down. Where are all the people? They're coming. Yep, we have industrial over here. That's going to be all built up here soon. Alright, so one important thing we can do right now is check out the information panel up here on the top left. Has a lot of good information. I mean, you can see noise pollution in your city. We did just hit that second milestone, so we unlocked quite a bit of stuff here. We got our second loan option available, police department, emergency services. We're able to buy a new area on the map, so that's pretty cool. Our next milestone is going to be 1,000. But yeah, back to this up here, we can see the noise pollution in our city. So all that red has really high noise pollution. Health, happiness, garbage, just a bunch of stuff. Let's see, this one's ground pollution. So if this ground pollution reaches out here to our water tower, we have a problem, because that's going to poison the water supply, and it's going to make everyone over here really sick, and everyone's going to start dying. So we need to keep an eye on that. Okay, we'll speed it up for more people to come in, and you can see our weekly income is almost at 0, so we're almost going to start making money. But since we did get that last milestone, we can go ahead and put down some fire departments, firehouses. I like to put one on each side, mostly because just availability. It's easier for this guy to access this area and this guy to access this, instead of one having to go all the way across this roundabout here. And then we're also police station. Police stations are pretty important early on, so I'm going to take this second loan out right now. That way we can just get our police station. Otherwise our town's going to have so much crime in it. Okay, and we are in the positive here now, so we're starting to make money. Hopefully that stops going down and goes up. And we hit our next milestone. Awesome, so we unlocked a bunch of stuff on this one. It's always nice. And then our next one's going to be 1,800 residents. You can see we're at 75,000, so I'm going to go ahead and pay off that loan. And then I'll pay off that one too. Might as well save some money on the interest. Cool, so I mean, it's starting to fill in here, and after it does a bit more, we'll start to expand. We just don't want to expand too fast. We want to actually save up some money too, so we can afford the expansion. Still no traffic congestions here. That's just beautiful how well traffic's going through that so smooth. Starting to get more businesses over here. That's good. Alright, so when you're thinking about expanding your city, there's a few things you have to think about first. One, can my utilities afford it? You know, am I gonna just kill myself financially trying to expand when I really shouldn't right now? So the best thing to do is look at your electricity. Let's see, we're consuming 43 and we're only producing 40, so we definitely need more power before we even think about expanding. Let me come over here to water. Water, I mean, our consumption isn't as high as our pumping capacity, but for sewage, we definitely should get another sewage before we want to expand. So, power, coal power plant. So let's go here, and we'll just take the 60. Might as well. We're gonna expand. We're gonna need money eventually. Okay, so we'll get another coal power plant. Right there. And then we're also going to put another sewage right here next to this one. Awesome. Our sewage is good. Our power is great. Producing more than twice what we need. Now we can start to expand. And you can see down here, as we talked about these panels in the beginning, we have a good demand for residential and a good demand for commercial zones. So that's really what we want to focus on when we expand. So that's what we're going to do. Alright. Tell you what, let's take this to here and we'll bring it out to there. And we'll bring it back. And we'll leave it like that. Okay, and then we're going to build roads all the way out here. Pretty good expansion size. Can't complain. Again, I like to just stick with this grid pattern because it makes everything pretty dense. That way we can just build up some capital before we start making anything really extravagant here. Okay, so there's our expansion. Heck, we can bring this out too and have this guy go out there. Okay, so now that we have that out, now we want to go to water, because we need to make sure all this has water before we start zoning it. Okay, I'm just going to carry this one out here. Boom, just like that. So all of that has good water coverage. As it comes out, it'll have power. So our residential demand is skyrocketed. So we're going to focus on that first here. Oh, we just hit our next milestone, 1800. Next one's 3600. And we'll go ahead and delete that. We'll actually make all of this commercial, because we do have a demand for commercial as well, so we don't want to do just residential over here. Awesome, so we'll let that fill in. It's looking pretty good. Now we're getting to a size where we do want to have some schools, have some relatively intelligent people here, because our town is awesome and we need smart people to be awesome. Okay, so we have 2 elementary schools and a high school. The elementary schools have a capacity of 450. High schools have a capacity of 1,000. So we want to make sure we have enough to house all of those citizens, all those students. Okay, another good thing I like to do at this point is build a botanical gardens. It's something to really make the town look nice. It's something for people to enjoy. It also ups the property value around it, so making your citizens a lot more happy in the long run. Okay, so we got our botanical gardens there. Nice and gorgeous, except for this weird roof that they got on it. Awesome, so we'll speed this up, let that fill in. And you can see that we're still doing good on the budget, going a little under since I just placed the schools and the botanical gardens, but the population coming in is definitely going to make up for it. Another thing we're really going to want to consider doing is probably upgrading this roadway right here, because everyone who lives over here is going to hit this and go right, and they'll head right down here. So to do that, go to our road panel, make sure we're going to go with a 4-lane road. Make sure you hit that upgrade button down here, and click, 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 just all the way down. Awesome, now you can see how it messed up our zone here, so we just got to go back through and fill that in a little bit. There we go. Awesome, so now traffic is going to flow better at this intersection. Everyone who needs to go to the right can go right. Not too much congestion. You can see we're making a lot more money now. So that's good. City is well on its way. Awesome. Well, the town is expanding well. I think I'm going to end the video there. Please hit that like button if you do want to see more things like this. You liked the video. If you didn't like the video, hit that like button. Leave me a comment down below if you have any questions. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later.